everyone. Ryan here again. And I want to do something slightly different. Well, slightly different for me. I just want to talk about one of my all-time favorite series. And no, I don't mean Divergent, I don't mean The Hunger Games, I sure as hell don't mean Twilight. What I am talking about is the Goosebumps series. And now granted, I know to a lot of people the Goosebumps series might seem kind of irrelevant today, but for me it's still pretty relevant. And also, it's the series that really got me into reading in the first place. Not only reading, but writing as well. It's a series that also first inspired me to start writing my own original short stories, and so I'll just get right into it here. I just wanted to mention 5 of my favorites from the series. Now, of course, these aren't, I wouldn't say that these are my absolute favorites, but these are just 5. Of course, I have a lot more favorites from the series, but first one being Night of the Living Dummy. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of dark right now, but yeah, Night of the Living Dummy. This is the first book that I read in the series. And granted, I know it's not number 1, it's number 7. But for me, this was the very first one that I read. And like I said, I was instantly hooked on it. And it just, granted, I thought it was going to be kind of like a ripoff of Chucky, those Chucky movies, and which I guess you could say it kind of is, but there's a little bit more of a, I guess, kind of a dark comedic twist to it. So definitely this is the book that started it all for me, Night of the Living Dummy. And I definitely recommend reading it if you haven't already. It's pretty short. Most of the books in the series are short, not really that difficult to read. So the next book I wanted to mention is The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. And I definitely remember when I first read this, it definitely intrigued me. I mean, just the whole thing about this kid who, is fascinated by this cuckoo clock, and it turns out that it allows, well, I guess I don't want to give too much away, especially if you haven't read it yet, but, because it allows, pretty much has the ability to allow anybody to time travel, I guess. Of course, I don't want to give away the details as to how exactly that's done, but again, I mean, this book, this one, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, was also definitely one of my favorites. Simply because of the whole time travel aspect to it, and I've always been a sucker for time travel stories. So there you go. And next one I wanted to talk about is Monster Blood. That's right, Monster Blood. And of course, you could say that this is kind of a ripoff of The Blob, or all those cheesy Blob movies, and which I guess, yeah, it kind of is. And but for me, I really enjoyed it, especially the first time I read it. I like the whole idea of this ooze that, it has these mysterious properties to it, and one of which can make things grow. And yeah, it was definitely really captured my attention, really got my imagination going. And I remember for a time I wanted to purchase like an actual Monster Blood. I think they sold it in stores for a while. It was just kind of this like green oozy stuff in a plastic container. I don't think I ever. Every time I'd go to the store with my parents and try to find it, it was always sold out. And of course, this was during the time when this book was really popular. So, of course, it would make sense that they would run out of the Monster Blood at the toy stores. So, all right. Next book I wanted to mention is Why I'm Afraid of Bees. And the main reason why I liked this book and why it became one of my instant favorites is because of the whole thing about this kid who ends up with pretty much wakes up one day and finds out that he's got the body of a bee. And it was just really interesting and pretty humorous too. Because I mean, how many of us can? I mean, I don't know. For me, until I read this book, I never really considered the possibility that somebody could actually wake up one day and then have the body of a bee or whatnot. And so I don't know. Of course, now I realize that there are parallels to another story by Franz Kafka, which is Metamorphosis. Of course, in Kafka's story, similar thing happens where a guy wakes up and he's somehow turned into a giant bug. And so, Why I'm Afraid of Bees, it's pretty similar. I mean, I don't know. I guess R.L. Stine, you could say, like to kind of somewhat rip off his literary idols. I don't know. Well, I guess you could say that a lot of writers do that. It's something that's hard to get away from. So the last book, number 5, I decided on Night of the Living Dummy Part 3. So, and even though, of course, I do like Night of the Living Dummy Part 2, and obviously Part 1, I don't know, I guess I like Part 3, mostly because that's when the story involves more than one dummy, and as you can see, I guess it's kind of hard to see because the light is reflecting a little in a weird way, but yeah, because in this book, that's when it became more. It involved more than one dummy, especially more than one dummy that comes to life, and that's to me. I mean, I don't know. I guess I would say that for this in particular book, not only is it kind of a ripoff of the Chuck movies, but also you could say ripoff of Night of the Living Dead movies. Those old zombie movies, the original zombie movies. Not The Walking Dead. Not The Walking Dead, because definitely The Walking Dead, you could say, is a ripoff of Night of the Living Dead. So that's the way I see it. But yeah, again, I mean, of course, at the time when I first read these books, I didn't realize, where R.L. Stine was getting his inspiration from. Of course, now it's easier for me to tell now that I've read other books and whatnot, and so yeah, there you go. That's the 5 Goosebumps books that I consider to be my favorites. Once again, they're just 5 of my favorites, not all of my favorites. Some other favorites of mine are The Haunted Mask and The Haunted Mask Part 2, and of course, I try to find those copies. I can't find most of my original copies, so yeah, I don't know. I gotta keep looking for them. So that'll do it for this video. Uh, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. So until next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.